Did you know someone may have poisoned a whistleblower inside her own home using one of the most dangerous substances on Earth? Karen Silkwood worked at a Kerr-McGee plutonium plant in Oklahoma in 1974. She was documenting safety violations, collecting evidence, building a case. Then she started testing positive for plutonium contamination, not trace amounts, dangerous levels. Investigators found it in her apartment, in her food, in her refrigerator. Contamination that had nothing to do with her job on the plant floor. Someone had been inside her home. Someone had brought plutonium with them. On November 13, 1974, she was driving to meet a New York Times reporter. She had documents with her, evidence she had spent months gathering. Her car left the road and struck a concrete culvert. She died on impact. The documents were never found. No other vehicle was ever officially confirmed. No one was ever charged. What was found in her apartment was never explained. Karen Silkwood knew something, and whoever made sure she never delivered those documents knew exactly where she lived. Did you know a Japanese soldier kept fighting World War II until 1974, nearly 30 years after Japan surrendered? His name was Hiroo Onoda. In 1945, he was sent to Lubang Island in the Philippines with one order: hold your position until relieved. Never surrender. So he didn't. Japan surrendered in August of 1945. Onoda never stopped fighting. He lived in the jungle. He ate bananas and stolen rice. He ambushed supply lines, destroyed crops, and killed civilians. Ordinary people, farmers and villagers, lived in terror of a single soldier fighting a war that had ended before some of them were born. Authorities dropped leaflets from planes. His own family recorded messages begging him to come home. He called all of it enemy tricks. He wasn't confused. He was conditioned. Decades of military obedience had built walls inside his mind that reality simply could not break through. By the time he finally surrendered in 1974, at least 30 civilians were dead. He was given a hero's welcome in Japan. The people of Lubang got nothing. Did you know a group of Japan's top scientists once built a nerve agent factory inside their own country, and almost no one noticed? Aum Shinrikyo didn't recruit the lost or the broken. They recruited the brilliant. Chemists, engineers, and doctors, some of the sharpest minds coming out of Japan's most elite universities. Their leader, Shoko Asahara, told them the world was ending and only they could stop it. They believed him. By 1994, they had a working sarin production facility. They tested it first on a quiet residential neighborhood in Matsumoto. 8 people died. Investigators initially blamed a local resident. The cult had members inside law enforcement. Tips were buried. Nothing happened. On March 20th, 1995, 5 teams entered Tokyo's subway system during morning rush hour. They punctured bags of liquid sarin with umbrella tips and walked away. 13 people died. Thousands were injured. Hundreds lost their vision permanently. These weren't desperate people lashing out. They were accomplished, educated, and absolutely certain they were right. That certainty is what made them so dangerous. Did you know some women from the 1920s are still radioactive in their graves? In the early 1920s, hundreds of young women went to work at the U.S. Radium Corporation in New Jersey. Their job was simple: paint the numbers on watch dials so they would glow in the dark. To keep their brushes fine and precise, supervisors told them to press the bristles between their lips. Lip, dip, paint. Over and over, all day long. What the women didn't know was that the company's own scientists wore lead aprons for protection. The workers were told the radium was harmless. Some were even told it was good for them. It wasn't. Their teeth began to fall out. Their jaws literally rotted away. Bones snapped from the inside without warning. Some of the women fought back and took the company to court. They won. It became one of the first major cases in American labor history. But here is the part that stays with you. When researchers exhumed some of their bodies decades later, the remains were still glowing. Did you know an entire village woke up surrounded by corpses and had no idea what killed them? On the night of August 21st, 1986, Lake Nyos in Cameroon silently ended nearly 2,000 lives. No explosion, no warning, no smell. For decades, volcanic vents beneath the lake had been pumping carbon dioxide into the deep water. The gas dissolved under pressure, building and building like a shaken bottle. Then something triggered the release. 1.6 million tons of carbon dioxide erupted from the surface in a single burst and rolled downhill like a fog. Invisible, silent, and heavier than air, it swept through every valley within 25 kilometers. People fell asleep mid-sentence. Livestock collapsed mid-stride. Birds dropped frozen from branches. Some survivors woke up 36 hours later. Their families were dead around them. Their animals were dead. Their neighbors were dead. They had no word for what happened. Scientists who arrived days later found bodies scattered across the hillsides like they had simply stopped. No predator, no fire, no enemy, just a lake that exhaled. Did you know a nuclear assassination once left a radioactive trail across London, and the killers didn't even know they were being tracked? In November 2006, Alexander Litvinenko sat down for tea at a hotel in central London. He was a former Russian spy who had defected to Britain and was feeding intelligence to MI6. By the end of that day, he was dying. Someone had slipped polonium-210 into his cup. It's a radioactive substance so rare, only a government can produce it. He spent 23 days dying in a hospital bed, and he used every one of those days to name Vladimir Putin. But here's what made this case unlike anything before it. Polonium leaves a trail. Investigators followed it across hotel rooms, restaurant seats, and airplane cabins all over London. Every place the assassins had been, the radiation marked it. The trail led straight back to Moscow. A British public inquiry later concluded that Putin probably personally approved the killing, a nuclear fingerprint, in the middle of one of the world's busiest cities. Did you know that one of the most powerful families in American history may have buried the truth about their son's death? In 1961, Michael Rockefeller was 23 years old. His father, Nelson Rockefeller, was one of the most influential men in America. Michael was on an expedition off the coast of New Guinea when his boat capsized miles from shore. He decided to swim for it. He was never seen again. Officially, he was listed as missing. But decades later, investigative journalist Carl Hoffman tracked down something that changed everything. Multiple members of the Asmat tribe, speaking independently, placed Michael on their shore, alive. The Asmat had a history of ritual killing. Headhunting was real. And the accounts, gathered separately, told the same story. Michael made it to shore. He did not survive what came next. The Rockefeller family had the money, the connections, and the motive to keep that story quiet. And for over 50 years, it stayed quiet. Missing is sometimes a fact. Sometimes it is a choice. Did you know the deadliest sniper in history was a quiet farmer who never bragged about a single kill? His name was Simo Häyhä, a Finnish farmer. Small, calm, unremarkable. When the Soviet Union invaded Finland in 1939, he walked into the snow and got to work. In fewer than 100 days, he recorded over 500 confirmed kills. He worked alone in temperatures below -40 degrees. No scope. He used iron sights to stay low, to keep his silhouette small. He packed snow in his mouth so his breath wouldn't rise and give him away. The Soviets sent counter-sniper teams specifically to find him. They called in artillery strikes on one man. None of it worked. They eventually got him with an explosive bullet to the jaw. He survived. He lived to 96 years old. When journalists asked him how he became so effective at killing, he didn't pause. He didn't look away. He said, "Practice. That's what makes it so unsettling. Not the number, not the cold, the calm."